Bernard Bush has lived his entire life online, clocking in well over 250,000 miles on the internet, a milestone that causes a mouse cursor to hover dangerously close to the achiever. However, the reminder of a web browser made him feel safe since he doesn't understand the real world. Bernard didn't even know the urban British term tram. He thought it meant to tram on through, which was something he made up right before getting derailed by a trolley. Bernard's grit and willingness to be virtually locked in for 22 hours a day made him the perfect candidate to be a bit runner. It's someone who is willing to go into a VR coma that puts them in various simulated dungeons to work for digital currency. Up to 3 people on the station can volunteer to ride a tanning bed to video game dreamland. For each world visited, you're assigned a new name and fresh hairstyle. Instead of PTSD, bit runners developed dissociative identity disorder. When these soldiers return home from duty, they gotta reinvent themselves every time they enter a room. One of the first places you can be somebody else is at the beach bar. To find Jimmy Buffett's bunker, you must walk through fire and brimstone. So what are you here for? Objectives are hidden within a hint. Decipher the unsolvable riddle, catch a buzz on the beach, wash the artificial sand out of your socks, and leave. Simple. Another good vacation spot is this beautiful forest inside an asteroid. It's inhabited by a species of bipedal diglets. Scientists have named them gondolas after their ability to float on canals and ride a wire up a mountain. To beat this level, the deformed dogs must be eaten in order to become one yourself. Frolic a little, then disconnect. Those were the warm-ups. Now strap on that coat and get that ass up an icy mountain. A place dark and cold as wherever you're watching this video from. Here, slippery ice might make you fall off the mountain. Not like haha clown banana peel slip fall down. No, you're falling as far as you are high. Better shimmy those ledges to make Space Station 13 some kind of platformer. This is the best implementation of height I've ever seen. Flights of stairs and elevators are snazzy, but give us more mountains in space. An ocean would be pleasant too. Our host Bernard arrived late to the pirate sea. He grabbed a musket and joined his 2 fellow bit runners in battle. One shot later, he was standing back charging his musket. Even with gunpowder out of the equation, reloading still takes forever, all for a one and done. Armed to fight at sea, which was a teal-covered carpet for these LARPing land lovers, the anti-pirate crew raided the pirate island successfully, unfolding into full-on pirate-on-pirate crime where they kill everybody and take all their booty. Bernard didn't participate much. All the enemies were dead by the time he got his hand on an energy Cutless. The next adventure happens in a realm with no great detail. Just shapes covered in a flashy black and purple color scheme. You play a floating skull logo, a classic 2D icon that's directionless and belongs on a shirt, not shooting it out with enemies you can barely see. Maybe the skull has psychic powers to balance out the blind perp disease. I haven't figured this one out. Alright, converting back to graphics that require imagination, just not nearly as much. Yet again, Bernard came after his coworkers already did shit. This dungeon setting was a combat damage station, or perhaps the other guys established this mess. While taking it all in, Bernard's 2 associates went into the disposal unit and left him behind. He tried following them, but couldn't get the disposal going before his partners came back around, accomplishing the task without him once more. Certain levels you'll need that triple manpower. At first glance, this seems to be an ordinary lava land, although Bernard didn't get a chance to leave the starting area since the demon known as the Bubblegum was waiting right outside. First, it mauled Bernard's comrade along with a chunk of the home base. Heavy gunfire from a saw didn't scratch the gum. Bombs are probably required to put a dent in this boss. There are a lot more chapters to simulate. I'll see them one day. Bitrunner's a neat, unique gimmick job. It's fun, just sometimes there's a decent amount of downtime in between bit runs. You gotta wait on the servers to load. Think you're supposed to bug the research director for more funding to get high-speed internet. You can also grind towards upgrades. I'm surmising that's how you beat Bubblegum. Somebody tell me how. Please. No? Fine. Have a New Year's Eve, why don't you?